גשם צר מאוד, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל.
Kol haolam kulo geshed sameod. The whole world is a very narrow thing. And so friends, very narrow bridge. And so friends, as we join together tonight for our daily Daven, we will also take the opportunity through this evening's service to mark the end of Shloshim for Dylan James Ellis, as we recognize that it's been 30 days since Dylan's passing. And so some of the melodies that you will hear, and you'll hear me share some words about Dylan as his family is watching through YouTube and friends are watching through YouTube, that we will really be part of community together tonight in such a beautiful and profound way, doing what really community is supposed to do, to support one another, to be with one another for the daily Daven, as we've become so used to doing, but also recognizing that we're here to support friends and family as they're going through a difficult time, and of course for Shiva, for Shloshim, as well as for Yahrzeit. And as I mentioned, you'll hear a few different things specifically for Dylan and some of his favorite melodies, especially song that we'll see right at the end of this service. Again, I welcome you all this evening. Please feel free to leave a message in the chat if you wish. And I'll see you through the service. And Tammy, it's lovely to have you with us. And it's lovely to have Ido. You can hear Noah in the background. She's doing what babies do. And so I invite you to join me in our Siddurim. The link is on the webpage. And we share, we are called unto life, destiny uncertain. Yet we offer thanks for what we know, for health and healing, for labor and repose, for renewal of beauty in earth and sky, for that blend of human holy which inspires compassion, and for hope eternal promising light, for life, for health, for hope, for beautiful, bountiful blessing, all praise to the source of being. Baruch atah Adonai makor nefesh kol chai. If we are able, we rise for the Baruch Hu on page 4.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד.
On page 6, the blessing that brings about the evening Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim. בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים. מסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה. ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב Arabim, Ahavat Olam on page 8.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אתה, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו הציצית הכנף ותיר תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Amen. I invite you to join me on page 15 as part of the Emet Ve'emunah reading. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, may earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. And the version that Tammy and Ido will share with us is known as the Redemption Micha Mocha, bringing us back to our very traditional roots of Bob Marley, the Redemption song.
O Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, O Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Seferet, Nora Tehilot, O Seferet. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. O Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, O Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Seferet, Nora Tehilot.
Wonderful, thank you so much. The next prayer that we share that is part of our evening service is Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu asks God to protect us as we lay our heads on our pillows at night as we go to sleep from all the things that could happen. It's that beautiful prayer in recognition that when we put our heads on our pillows, we have no control over what it means when we actually sleep. And I see the Hashkivenu as the twin to El Malei Rachamim, God full of compassion, because the imagery and the wording is similar. God, protect us under the shelter of your peace, under the shadow of your wings. And that's the same language in El Malei Rachamim that we have here. And of course, while we won't share El Malei Rachamim for Dylan this evening, we will of course say Kaddish later. We do ask God to protect Dylan and to protect all of us under the shadows and the shelter and the wings of the Eternal's wings. And so we share Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu
So on page 20 is the Chatzi Kaddish, and if you are able to, I invite you to rise for the Chatzi Kaddish, and then I'll share with you as we go through the Amidah when we get there.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמא דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen.
Friends, we push forward in Sidurim or on the e-book, the electronic Sidur, to page 74, and our custom is that we share the first three blessings out loud together, and then we continue with the prayers of our hearts. Perhaps it's the words on the page, and you'll know when we've come to the end of that quiet time because we'll be sharing with you Oseh Shalom, a version by Ilana Jagoda. Very beautiful piece and something that I know that Dylan loved and Michelle and Matan and their families loved as well. The page 74 for the Amidah.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים. אתה קדוש ששמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Amen. We continue with the prayers of our hearts to round about page 100 or the words of the pages. Amen. Truly, may the one who brings peace bring peace down to all of us around the world, right here in Melbourne. Friends, I'm going to share with you a few words about Dylan. And I do invite you, as I can see so many people are writing such beautiful things to Michelle and Matan online through YouTube. And I do invite you at this time, as I share, to, if you knew Dylan, and I know some of our classmates from the Gay Root program are online, and if you'd like to just share something about Dylan, if you wish, there's no pressure, and I know not everybody feels comfortable sharing online, but if you do to just share, even if it's one word about Dylan and what you remember about Dylan. I know that Michelle and Matan will appreciate it. I want to share with you just a few words, and I'm going to draw on my words from Dylan's funeral. And for me, when I think of that day and think of that afternoon, it feels so very raw. And Michelle and Matan, and to stand there with you and your families was such a privilege. And that really is carried on and is really part of my heart and how I think about Dylan, is to see your family's love, and which is so strong for one another, but also for Dylan. The things that stood out for me about Dylan was his generosity of heart, his thoughtfulness, his kindness. And in that moment at the funeral, I summed him up and said that he was a true mensch, because and I said he was gentle as well as genteel. And that that genuine softness. He wasn't a pushover, but that genuine softness about who he was. He was quick-witted, and he was so full of compassion. And of course, when you think of Dylan and you see the twinkle in his eyes, you can see that cheeky grin on his face, because he really also was quite cheeky. Dylan really brought a lot of blessings to the world, and the blessing was just his confidence and his mentorship to other young people. And the one thing that he would want is for all of us to enjoy our lives, to hold each other close, and also to share with one another how much we cared about him and how much we care about one another. I know that Michelle and Matan, you will always miss him. He will always be in your hearts, and you will always remember, and I'm drawing on your words, Michelle, you'll always remember the joy that he brought you. And through the prayers that we have been sharing, he is safe. He is in God's arms. He is being protected by God. And to recognize that one of the things that he always tried to do was to be a peacemaker. And Michelle, you said here on earth, and as well as finding peace in heaven. Michelle, you also shared with me some words by Daven, which is one of Dylan's closest friends. And I'm just going to draw on the last paragraph, because for me this was something that really was quite striking. And I didn't ask Daven's permission, but Daven, I think that for Dylan's memory, you would appreciate when you wrote, "I remember a time when I was going through a rough patch, which we all do at different points. And I remember him being at my side. He mentioned that he would let me catch up to him in life, and if I couldn't, he would slow down and make sure I was okay." And that just really is so beautiful, because he so looked out for everybody. And that was part of his sweetness, his tenderness, and just who he was as such a caring and loving and unique individual. And I hold those words so dear, as all of you do, that he really was a very special young man. And I remember what he shared with me when one of the first times I met him, when he was looking at joining our Gay Root class, and he was looking for a community that was caring and compassionate and kind is the key word that he found, but was also like-minded. And he found our congregation and also the connection, certainly because of you, Matan, and Michelle, to come to TBI and be part of our community. So we stand with you metaphorically, physically, and we all look forward to a moment when we can really put our arms around you and tell you how much we miss Dylan and how much we love and adore your family. And I hope, God, please, one day it'll be very soon when we can stand with you and recite the words of Kaddish at TBI and stand next to one another, because I think that's the only thing in my mind what's missing. So, and that's why I invited you to share a few words, and I can see some beautiful things that are coming up. I won't repeat them, but from Michali and Yael and Esther and Shaz, who just said my pickle, which I love. And there are others, and of course joining from all over the world this evening, from Israel and from America. And so with that in mind, we say Zecher Tzadik Livracha. Truly may the memory of the righteous, of Dylan, be for a blessing. And let us continue now with Aleinu on page 586. Oh no, before that, sorry, Ido. Sorry, and that's the one. What I wanted to do is also mention the one of the things that Dylan tried to do. He was a healer. He looked to bring people closer together, and so we'll share with you our healing, a special healing prayer that we have, and may we all find comfort and healing in tonight. And it's a healing prayer put to the very famous song, Fragile. Ido and will share that with us. And Tammy, I'm not sure if you're going to join in, but I know you can harmonize so beautifully.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech העולם אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה וברבו נקבים נקבים חלולים חלולים גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך שאם יפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
Blessed is the eternal God who mends the hearts of those who are broken and the brokenhearted. And friends, let us now move into Aleinu on page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל עמונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
And so, friends, we now move into the Mourner's Kaddish, and I share with you a reading on page 595. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע עצם, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. So it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. The stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways that we remember. And so as we move towards the Kaddish at Tom and the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598, for the week of Shiva, we remember Helen Friedman, Felicia Lucy, and Semen Spektorov. And for the Shloshim, we remember Joseph Ben Tata, Marlis Cohen, Jenny Freimer, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Deborah Josselson, Jeffrey Starr. And tonight marks the end of the Shloshim with Dylan James Ellis. And the yahrzeit, the anniversaries of whose death, fall this evening. Our hearts go out to Muffy Hand for her father, Bert's Hand. We remember Teresa Kaufman, Francis Huffman, Edna Frack, Eugene Jelenik, and Ruth Goddard. Of course, Muffy's brother John is also remembering their father, Bert. And so to all of them, we share the words, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing, as we share the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, v'amad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedach o Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'maru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam elamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, יתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בימה וימרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. המקום ינחם לכם בתוך שעה הבלי ציון וירושלים. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world, and we say, Amen. And so, friends, this marks almost the end of our service this evening. Just a couple of announcements. Tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday begins Sukkot, and of course we've got Sukkot services. And then the following week is Shmini Atzeret and Simcha Torah. Please look out for the different programs and things that we've got out for during those services, as well as for Simchat Torah. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to end the service this evening, and I'm going to do a screen share. It's not something Tammy or Ido are going to sing, but I say thank you to both of them for joining us, and we'll share this piece. It's a few minutes, and from there, that will end our services, and we will go offline. Truly may Dylan's memory be for a blessing. And so I share with you this song, which was Dylan's favorite song.
Should I laugh or should I cry? When I woke up this morning, I said to myself, should I laugh or should I cry? It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day today. 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 It's a beautiful, beautiful,